And we started the collective process of creativity because we began to realize through our subtle world connections back in the early 80s that healing was so much more than just trying to heal the body from a disease or from an illness, regardless if it's physical or psychological or trauma that's there. And that when people touch into a creative energy that comes from the subtle world, from their soul, and inspires them in both process and images and technique and structures with that, it produces a healing response within the body itself. And we saw that as being a much more beneficial structure than just assisting people to get out of an illness process. So we stopped the whole stress reduction process and the healing center process, and we started then to really start into the whole creative process. And since Ilene was an artist, she began with the art collective, but at that point we went into about 10 different collectives of all of the different aspects of creativity for a number of years on teaching people how to touch their soul, how to touch the subtle world, how the forces of the earth and other parts are really part of who we are as a human being, as the whole person. That we're so much more than just the personality aspect of ourselves. And that's where the inspiration then for so many people learning different forms of writing, photography, and art, and without necessarily always a lot of outer training really came from. And that became the whole inspiration then over the next 30 years. Right before Ilene got sick, she began to reposition all of her 300 plus paintings that she produced, and she began to rewrite everything as understanding art as good medicine. Because from the indigenous work that I was involved in, and she was also as a secondary component within that, we really understood that the structure of what we think of as good medicine really comes through creativity and supported what we started, but we really were going into a much more indigenous perspective behind it, an ancient indigenous perspective, as we had done on all of our trips and things like that. And a lot of people weren't aware of how much Ilene was really repositioning all of her work, because most people didn't see it like on Art America or some of the sites and things like that, where she started to do some of that writing itself.
Well, it's amazing how you can hear the same thing for so many years, and sometimes the light bulb will go on. Thank you, Conrad.
Okay.